Hey guys, it's time for another quick and dirty rotation guide, this time for Condition Tempest. This guide complements the written guide for Condition Tempest I made on the Guild Wars 2 wiki and can be transitioned into a simple yet effective build for open world. I've made a separate video for open world as well, both the links to the written guide and the other video are in the description. Essentially, this rotation is all about keeping good uptimes on the essential buffs with as little effort as possible, with a very good return in damage. The essential boons are either triggered when you apply an aura or when finishing an overload. Tempest's area, which triggers on auras, lasts only 5 seconds, so we need to build the rotation around it to keep it up. Don't worry though, it's very simple to do. In the opener, precast both Arcane Power and both Glyphs of Elementals. Arcane Power is not removed when entering combat and drastically increases the burst damage of the build. Start the fight with Signet of Fire and Flame Wall, which are the highest damage casts per skill aside from your Overload Fire. After that, we'll just cast almost all weapon skills in Fire Attunement and utilities on cooldown. You should always prioritize Overload Fire, as it gives you a 25% damage modifier after using it and ramps up a lot of burning stacks. The closer to the hitbox of the enemy you stand, the more of the world finishes this does will hit. When you notice another important skill becoming available shortly before this, you can squeeze that in. The next priority are Flame Wall and Signet of Fire, as they deal very high damage per cast. Make sure to try and not interrupt your auto attacks since they have a relatively long cast time. The only timing during this rotation you should actively watch is the cast of Fire 5 Flame Shield. Tempest's area will trigger both when you start and when you finish the overload for 5 seconds, covering a good chunk of the rotation. You want to cast Fire 5 only when the buff has run out after you finish the overload, so when your overload has between 8 or 7 seconds on its cooldown left. That way you maintain the buff as much as possible while camping fire. Use your heal skill whenever you see the buff from Arcane running out to keep the ferocity bonus. It does the same damage as your auto attack and is thus no damage loss over it. If you need breakbar damage, you can swap to air and use skill 5 and then swap to water and use skill 5. You can also use air 2 here since it's instant cast as well. Usually Fire Attunement won't be ready after you do this, so you have to spend some time in Earth Attunement before being able to swap back. If you need more CC, you can also cast the Air Elite Elemental instead of the Fire one and use its second cast for CC. That's basically it. The Spin to Win Condition Tempest has a very simple rotation that allows you to focus on mechanics and your surroundings while playing it. It does great damage while doing so and provides boons too. That said, feel free to like and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm. I hope this video was insightful for you and meant you want to try Condition Tempest. See you next time and happy spin to winning.